Hello everybody, I'm Courtney and I'll be the driver of the session.
Hi, my name is Roy and I'll be the navigator.
So this is a Unit 2, Lesson 11 and 12, and then Unit 3, Lesson 13. So let's get into it. This is Lesson 11, so we're just going to dive into our controllers. So we're going to start with error controller. So I'm having a little bit of a problem with my node. It's not working properly. I will show what I mean by that shortly. And I had it working and then it stopped working again. So I really don't know how to fix that one, but I will find out a way. And once it's up and working again, then I will just demo the sites and stuff to show it is working and post that as a separate video. Okay, so we have our error handling middleware. So obviously this file just contains the middleware functions for the logging of all application users, handling our 405 and 500 errors. So 404 is a resource not found error, and then 500 is our internal server error. So it's just going to help make error responses cleaner and more user friendly. So obviously again this is just importing the error codes, and then we're going to have our middleware to log all errors. So this is just going to log the error stack and stack trace to the console for debugging, and then it's going to pass the error to the next error handling middleware. So, and then over here it's just going to, the middleware is just going to handle the response resource not found for errors, and this one's just going to handle the internal server errors. It's obviously going to send the responses and just log the error stack traces. So obviously if you go to your site and the resource isn't loaded, it's going to say file not found or resource not found 404 error. With the 500 it's going to say internal server error 500 or whatever. Okay, let's go on to our home controller. So this controller is just to handle the root with the URL parameter, like items carrots. So it would be like vegetable or veg carrots, for example, like all the other previous examples. This is just going to get the vegetable name from the URL. It's the same as always. A home controller is pretty much the same the whole time around. It's obviously just going to send the response using the vegetable name. And the controller is going to handle the post request, and then it's going to log the body of the request from the data or JSON, and then it's going to log any query parameters and then just send a simple success message. Then over here, our controller is just going to render a view, so index.js for example. Mine is a main.js. No, that's just normal JS. EJS, or these. Sorry, there is an index EJS with the name passed as a parameter, and then it's just going to render the index.js page with a first name from the URL. So pretty simple stuff. Let's go to our main.js. So this is your normal JavaScript. So again, importing your required modules. You're going to set the port and view. We're going to have a middleware. This is just using our layout. So our layouts are in templates under views, so it would be this. Oh, this is lesson 12. Anyway, going back. Oh, okay. So middleware is used like pass your all encoded data from forms. We're going to have more middleware. This is getting the data from the JSON files. Custom middleware to log every request URL and then pass to next middleware or route. So here is our route. So again, this just goes in your internet browser at the top for your links and stuff. These are just your post requests and all that kind of stuff. So again, same as always, just going to have error handling. Obviously this is all being logged to our error controller. And again, we're just having our server listening on whatever port it is listed at the top, which is 3000. Lesson 12, it's pretty much the same stuff. I don't really think I need to go over this because it's exactly the same. A home controller, it's a little bit different. So this is just going to create an array of course objects with a title and a cost properties. Um, I think this is for Confetti Cuisine. So this is a website I wanted to showcase, but I can't now because my node's not working. Let me actually demonstrate that. Maybe it will work now. Who knows? Anyway, unrestricted. This is a main. This is what I mean. Even if I want to go npm I, because I don't think I installed anything, it's not working. It doesn't recognize Node, so that's fun. So this is the only thing that's pretty much different. Our controller function is to display the list of courses. It's going to pass the courses array to courses EJS. So that would be, where would that be now? Sorry, give me a second. Partials? No, not partials. Anyway, it's somewhere here, but it gets passed to courses EJS. Controller function to show the sign up form. So like your sign in, sign out kind of stuff, or sign up. It's going to render the contact EJS view, then our controller function to handle form submission and show a thank you page. So just one of your typical thank you pages, and then it's going to render the thanks EJS view after the form is submitted. Yeah, and now our main. So it's pretty much the same stuff. Again, you're just importing your modules. Strict just uses like enforces strict mode for JavaScript. The only difference in the wait, was I on lesson 12 now? Nope. Sorry, wrong one. Let's just close unit 3 for now. I wasn't yet. Yes, I wasn't yet. Okay, so my bad. Here is lesson 12. This is our main JavaScript. Just going to use strict. It's going to enforce the cleaner, stricter JavaScript. Import required modules. This is just going to require the EJS Express Layouts module. It's going to set the application to EJS to use EJS as a view engine. So it's the same stuff. And then this is just a pass incoming JSON data. Enable EJS layouts, so static files like CSS, images, client-side JS from public folder. An example of like a static file kind of thing on the client side would be like your contact form, because that just stays. Basically, nothing is changing about it. A non-static thing I'd say would be like your home page. This is going to display the home page. So to get that, I think you just go /index. I have to test that. I haven't gotten the chance to because it's not working. But I know for a fact this stuff is working, but to fully explore it, I haven't gotten the chance to. This is just going to display the different course pages based on the browser URL. So there is a little like tab at the top that you can just click to go to the different areas that are provided. Again, this is just going all the errors. If there are, it will just be sent to the error controller. And then this is going to print a message in our console to show which port the server is running on, which would be 3000. Moving on to lesson 13. This required MongoDB, which I think is most likely where my Node stopped working. Because when I installed Node, Mongo, Node stopped working. So this is our error controller. Pretty much the same as all the others. Same with home controller. The only difference in this would be our main JavaScript, purely because here you can see we have our MongoDB. So we're importing our required modules. Here you can see that MongoDB is one of them, and DB URL and DB name. This is all Mongo. So here it's just going to connect to MongoDB. If connection fails, it will just throw an error. Then here it's going to get a reference to the database, and then it's going to insert a document into the contacts collection. If the insertion fails, it's going to throw an error. If it doesn't, it's going to log the results of the insertion. Insertion. It's going to find all the documents in the contacts collection and print them as an array. So that's just like a little list. If finding fails, it will throw an error. If not, it will just log an array of documents. Then here we're just going to set the application settings. So we're just setting the port it's on. It's going to set the EJS view engine. We have a middleware set up. So it's going to serve static files from the public directory. Again, CSS, images, that kind of stuff. Then it's going to use Express EJS layouts, obviously for like layout management and stuff. Then over here, we're just going to pass URL encoded bodies from like form submissions, etc. Pass JSON bodies, log request paths. We have our root handlers, same as always, handling our post requests to the root URL, and then our error handling middleware. So this all just gets into the error controller, and then we're going to start a server. Yeah, so that is lessons 11 through 13. Once I get it working again, I will make a separate video on the websites.